People have ideas that they would love to turn into a novel or a screenplay, but they don't know how to go about it. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 questions that when you answer them, you'll be able to expand on your idea, turn it into a story, or decide whether it is a good idea worth pursuing or not. My name is Lord Josh. I am a screenwriter and a story consultant. So let's dive right into it. Number 1, who is the story about? This is the first thing you need to know, and what I mean is, who is the protagonist of the story? This is not the video to dive into who a protagonist is. I have another video for that, but for today, who is your story about? Whose story are we telling? Number 2, what does your protagonist want? This is a very vital part. It's the most important part of these 5 questions. One of my screenwriting heroes or mentors, Aaron Sorkin, said that there are 2 important things for every story: intention and obstacle. And that's what I mean by goal. What's the protagonist trying to achieve? What is he trying to do? I always give this example in my screenwriting class. A man and his pregnant wife drive out of the house. Now, there's nothing to that. We don't know what they are doing. Why are they driving out of the house? What's going on? Nothing is happening. But when I say a man drives out of his house with his pregnant wife because they need to get to the hospital in 10 minutes because she's about to have a baby. Now we have a goal. The protagonist has a goal. I want to get my wife to the hospital in 10 minutes. That is the goal. You need to figure out what is your your protagonist trying to achieve in the space of the movie, not in their life, but in the space of the movie or in the space of the novel you are writing. The third question, why are they trying to achieve the goal? You need to figure out the motivation of the protagonist. Why is he trying to achieve this goal? And the reason why the motivation is very important. When we know why, they have more reasons to try and achieve the goal. It also gets the audience more interested. For example, the example I gave earlier about the protagonist driving his wife to the hospital. I told you the goal is to get to the hospital. Now we know why, because his wife is about to put to bed. But let's say that he has a limited amount of time, or the wife is crowning already. At least I know that when the baby starts crowning, you have a limited amount of time when the baby needs to be born, otherwise there will be some medical issues. So because of this reason, there's a motivation for him to want to get to the hospital. So what he does is, number 1, the protagonist has a reason to want to achieve this. Number 2, you also get the audience watching or reading your story to become more involved, because they know that there's a reason. There is a reason why the protagonist is trying to achieve this. So they too are more invested and more interested. The fourth question, what is at stake? What does the protagonist have to lose if they don't achieve this? Now, the reason why you need stakes is because, again, like I said before, the audience needs something to make them interested and make them concerned or make them invested in your character. So when the character has a motivation, I need to get my wife to the hospital because the baby is crowning. What is at stake? The life of the baby, the life of the wife. That is like the highest stakes you can have, the life of your loved ones. So when there is something at stake, it makes the protagonist more interested. For example, there are people that just write a story. The protagonist is trying to get a girl. It's a romantic comedy or something. What does he have to lose if he does not get this girl? What's the big deal? There are other girls in the world. So now it can be interesting. People can follow, but the kind of movie where you are watching and your heart is in your mouth because you are eager for the character to achieve their goal. That is when you have stakes. For example, a policeman is trying to stop a bomb from going off in the mall. Why is he trying to achieve it? Because his job is to stop terrorists and whatever it is, because he's a policeman. But now he hears that his wife and his child are in the mall. That is so different. Now the stakes are higher because he knows that he has something to lose, his family. So he is more interested. As the audience watching or reading, we are also more interested. Number 5, finally, what is stopping the protagonist from achieving their goal? And that is conflict. Conflict is the most important thing after your goal. Like I said, Aaron Sorkin said, intention and obstacle. The conflict is the obstacle. What is stopping the protagonist from achieving their goal? Remember the example I gave earlier about the protagonist trying to get his wife to the hospital. If he enters the car and just drives to the hospital in 5 minutes, he's there. It's a boring story, even though you have stakes, even though you have motivation. But just imagine that as he gets to his car to go, he starts the car does not start. He checks his battery, the battery is dead. He quickly runs to his neighbor, borrows his neighbor's battery, starts the car, starts heading to the hospital. As he gets to the road, he meets policemen on the road. They stop him. They start asking him, "Can we see your car papers?" Now, it's usually annoying for policemen to ask you for your car papers because most of us don't really want to waste that time. But now, it is even more annoying for this guy because there's something at stake. Now, let's say he navigates that and he keeps going. Next thing, as he's going on the road, he meets two people on the road. Maybe they had a little accident. Instead of them to settle it amicably and go, they park on the road and start fighting. Now, all these simple things that normally would annoy you become even exaggerated because number one, there's a goal. Number two, there's a motivation. There's something at stake. And now these conflict points help the character and make the story even more interesting. There's something to overcome for him to achieve his goal. Now, when you answer those 5 questions, they help you to develop your story, to know if it is a story worth pursuing, and it helps you develop your idea into a story. To recap the 5 questions, number 1, who is the story about? Number 2, what is the protagonist trying to achieve? Number 3, why is he trying to achieve what he's trying to achieve? Number 4, what is at stake? If he does not achieve the goal, what does he have to lose? And number 5, what is stopping him from achieving the goal? So, what are you working on currently? What is the idea you have that you're trying to develop? Answer these 5 questions in the comments and I will respond to let you know if you have it well or if you need to still work on it. Thank you for watching the video. I hope it helped you.